5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 406 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Another day here in the arena, guys, as we flip the calendar from Thanksgiving, November, to Christmas, Hanukkah, almost New Year's, as we march into the month here of December. But a lot to get to on today's podcast. I have a 5-pack of sweats for you today, guys, all hoops. So I got 3 college basketball plays, including one play on the most heavily bet game of the night, where KenPom has this team winning the game outright. And in the betting market, you can get them plus a couple points. And then also a couple plays in the NBA. Sharp play here on a dog at home, although it's been a dog favorite pick'em game, but it's trending in the direction against the public. So stay tuned for that one. And then also a player prop. So there's a player prop here in the NBA as I continue to work with Rhythm and see the kind of the value and highlighting of some of these player props. I'm like, why don't I play more of these? So this is the one of the most highly rated player props, a guy to go under his rebounds tonight. So overall 5-pack, all hoops, 3 college basketball plays, 2 NBA plays. We'll see if we can eke out a 3-2 night and try to post a winning night here today. So with that being said, guys, I'll just let you know it's the first snowstorm for me in the outskirts of Boston in New England here. So I've already shoveled once. After the pot, I'm going to shovel again here. But just a reminder, lift with your, what do they always say? Lift with your knees, not your back. Well, what does that actually mean? I guess to me it means just don't hunch over, try to, get down a little bit, toss the snow. But I tell you what, my dog really loves the snow. She's an English Labrador, so she was very happy to see some snow this morning. And we got about, 5 inches already. Could be up to almost close to a foot. So it's a good day to stay snowed in and sweat and bet some sports and hopefully get some winners here, which is obviously the goal. Now, looking back to our last night, guys, 0-1, -1 unit. I love the points there with the New York Giants, but it was pretty much a no contest. Patriots, I guess, are too good, and it's always tough when you bet against your team and they make you happy because they're playing great, and you're like, no, don't win by so much. But obviously there were, the punt return touchdown, and then the Giants, making mistakes, getting blown up, penalties. Really couldn't make it much of a game. 33-15. My Patriots won that thing. So Giants plus 7.5. Still a sharp play, guys. Did you see the closing line value? I know you don't want to hear it when you lose a bet, but that game closed at 7. So read the market correctly, just did not come through. So we're going to continue to move on, see if we can turn it around and get a winning night here for tonight. So that being said, without further ado, let's talk some college basketball, because there's a huge slate today. There's been some day games, and there's a huge slate here for tonight. And I found 3 plays that really caught my eye. So the first one on the board for me, let's look at a 7 p.m. Eastern time game between Virginia Tech and South Carolina. Now, Va-Tech comes in 6-2. They actually started the year 6-0. They've since dropped 2 straight. Just fell to VCU 86-68. Didn't cover as a 2-point neutral site dog. Meanwhile, South Carolina 5-2 on the year. They had lost 2 straight, just snapped that losing skid, beat Charleston Southern 74-62. Didn't cover, though. They were favored by 17 at home in that one. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened very, very short number. South Carolina -1 at home. And the public is saying Virginia Tech is a slightly better team, 6-2 against South Carolina 5-2. Maybe they remember Virginia Tech being undefeated for so long to start the year. And they're saying, 2 good teams, decent teams. Virginia Tech probably a little bit better. Might as well take that point, right? However, even though you're getting nearly 60% of spread bets taking Va-Tech, you've actually seen this line move further towards South Carolina. So South Carolina has gone from -1 up to -1.5. And you have a few shops juiced up -115 a little bit towards South Carolina. So why did the line move toward the Gamecocks if the slight majority of tickets here are going with Va-Tech? Tells me you got some smart money here going with South Carolina. Now, South Carolina, aside from a fade the trendy dog play, again, public-leaning Va-Tech line went to South Carolina. They'd also match with a correlative betting short favorite in a high total game. So short favorite only laying 1.5 with a high total of 150.5, 151.5. Theoretically, game script would say, hey, a lot of points here. Maybe a little bit easier for that favorite to cover that short number. Now I'm going to protect myself, guys. I played South Carolina here on the money line. So if you look at the current prices here for South Carolina, you can get around minus 120. That's the number that I got. Some shops are a little bit higher, minus 125. But you can still get a minus 120. I'm looking at a couple books right now, still available as I am in Massachusetts. And again, by the way, congrats and welcome to those of you in Missouri who can now bet legally. It's your second day of legal betting, so congrats. But anyway, money line, minus 120, minus 125. Good money line split at DK, 65% bet, 70% dollars. So some Pro and Joe action here on South Carolina just to win the game. And these are two other angles that I'm looking at. One is home road. South Carolina, they're 5-2 overall, but they're 5-0 at home. Vatech is playing their first true road game. So kind of a tough place to play. South Carolina's been there, done that, performed well at home. Vatech, first true road game. And then also free throw percentage. If this is going to be a tight game, I hope it's not. I would love South Carolina to win in a blowout, but we know it's never that easy. But you do have a big discrepancy free throw percentage. 76% versus 71% for Virginia Tech. So hopefully if it becomes, crucial free throws, you got to make them. Let's hope the Cox can do it. But I've seen this line move a little bit towards South Carolina. Good home road splits. Good betting splits as well. Looks like a nice fade the trendy dog play. So I laid it with South Carolina here. Again, minus 120, minus 125 here on the money line. Next one for you. This is a big one. Connecticut and Kansas. This is the most heavily bet game of the night. Or it isn't as of now, but it will be because it's your late game, your 9 o'clock here. But it should be a great matchup, and it is a fantastic contrarian play here. So let's see if hopefully we can bet against the public and get a winner. Now, UConn comes in 6-1 on the year. They're ranked 5th in the country. They've won 2 straight. Just took down Illinois 74-61, covered as a 3.5-point neutral site favorite. Meanwhile, Kansas 6-2 on the season, ranked 21st. They've won 3 in a row, and they actually just beat Tennessee. That was a big upset. They were about a 5-point dog, neutral site. They won 81-76 over a really good Volunteers team. Now, what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened. Connecticut listed around a 1.5 or 2-point road favorite. Again, this is a true home game at Kansas. And we've actually seen the public say, hey, this line is way too low. UConn is a way better team, and you never get UConn only laying 2 points. So you are getting right now at DraftKings nearly 80% of spread bets laying it with UConn. So normally what do we see when you get big tickets like that? You're going to move up, -2 to 3 to 4. But we actually haven't really seen that. We've pretty much stayed steady at UConn -2. Now some books are showing 2.5 juice toward Kansas. So plus 2.5, minus 115. So if you do want to go Kansas, and that's what I'm doing, guys, I got Kansas +2. So I wasn't able to get the hook. I played it a little bit earlier. So you can get the hook here if you're looking to go contrarian. But that tells me we got a great opportunity here to look at kind of a line freeze contrarian play. Again, will be the most heavily bet game of the night. Only around 20 to 25% of tickets are on Kansas. So just from the standpoint of everyone playing UConn, let's go the other way. Contrarian value right there. But then if you look at Circa, totally different story. Out in Vegas, 67% of spread bets, 97% of spread dollars also on the Jayhawks. Kansas is 3-0 at home this year. UConn is playing their first true road game. And believe it or not, Ken Pom, our guy, I guess we can sound the alarm, right? Woo woo! For those of you, we haven't done that in a while. Ken Pom sound the alarm is when he's got the team winning the game, and yet they're a dog in the market. So Ken Pom actually has the Jayhawks winning this game by 1 point, 71-70. So if we can shop around, get the 2, you can definitely get the 2. You might be able to get that 2.5. Good angle there. And also you have Kansas better free throw shooting, 77% versus 70%. But when I saw this line barely budge, yet everyone was playing in their mother, Connecticut, I said, hey, good opportunity here to go the other way and play Kansas. So again, I got Kansas. I'm kind of annoyed at a bad +2. But again, they were down to 1.5 earlier today, so this line's kind of been all over the place. But you can get a 2.5, +2.5, minus 115, minus 120 at DraftKings or FanDuel. So again, if you haven't played it yet, you want to go contrarian and strap up here and take a gross play, I am looking at Kansas in this spot, +2.5, +2. And then it's also a 15% sharp mush edge from our friends at Juice Reel. And I forgot to mention that South Carolina money line play, 21% sharp mush edge with our friends at Juice Reel. Last bet of the night for me, in college that is, Mizzou and Notre Dame. Now, looking at this matchup here, we have Mizzou coming in 8-0 undefeated. Just took down Cleveland State 86-59. Didn't cover, though, as a 29.5-point home favorite. On the other hand, Notre Dame 5-3. The Irish kind of been back and forth. They've rotated wins and losses over their last 5 games. They just lost to Houston 66-56, but they actually covered that number as a 10.5-point neutral site dog. Now, what have we seen across the market? Well, this game opened Mizzou, again, 8-0 undefeated, as a short 1.5-point road favorite. And the public is leaning Mizzou. Again, public can't lay off, and I don't blame them. An undefeated team laying a very, very short number. However, even though you're getting nearly 2/3 of bets taking Mizzou, we've actually seen this line flip in favor of Notre Dame, plus 1.5 at home to now minus 1.5 at home. And again, some books have been hovering around 1. Some books touched as high as 2 or even 2.5 earlier today. But the biggest thing for me is public Mizzou, yet dog to fave line move in favor of Notre Dame. Now, at DraftKings, we're only getting, around a third of tickets, but more than 50% of the money on Notre Dame at circa 80% bets, over 90% dollars on Notre Dame. Now, I look to mitigate some risk here. I took Mizzou, I got them at minus 140 on the money line. That's a little bit high. You can get them like minus 120 now. Again, that was when they were at 2.5. But you look at these angles here, favorites with a 2-point line move or more in their direction. So going from plus 1.5 to minus 1.5, that's technically a 3-point move. But those teams straight up are 160 and 35, 82%, 2% ROI this year. Short favorites minus 4 or less with at least a 0.5 point in their direction line move, 62% this season with a 5% ROI. Irish 4-0 at home. Notre Dame also rest advantage. Last played on the 26th versus Mizzou on the 28th. So public's going Mizzou, but we got dog to fave movement toward Notre Dame. And we also have Notre Dame a 10% sharp mush edge. So all three of these, South Carolina, Notre Dame, Kansas, all with 10% or more sharp mush edges from our friends at Juice Reel. So again, I got a bad minus 140 when they were minus 2.5. They're down to 1.5. But still, your dog to fave, you're going with the sharp play here, so you can now get Notre Dame around minus 120. So Notre Dame money line, South Carolina money line, and Kansas. Try to get that 2.5. Now, over to the NBA. Couple plays for you guys. So let's just start off with the spread play, and then I'll give you a player prop, which is extremely highly rated from our friends at Rhythm. So in terms of a side, I'm going to look toward the Knicks-Celtics game because it looks to me like we have another sharp opportunity here to back the Celtics. New York Knicks come in 13-6. New York Knicks have won 4 in a row. They just beat Toronto 116-94. Celtics 11-9. I have the over, I think it was 40.5 win total, so they got to stay above 500 here. But they're 11-9. They've won 3 of 4, and they actually just beat Cleveland, surprisingly. They were a dog in that game, won outright at Cleveland 117-115. Now, what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened with the New York Knicks, about a 1 or 1.5 point road favorite. And the public is leaning a little bit toward the Knicks. Nothing crazy, about 55% of spread bets. But we're seeing the Knicks basically get down to a pick 'em. Now, this one is another shop for the best number opportunity because you got numbers all over the place here. So some books are still Knicks minus 1.5. A lot of books are down to Knicks minus 1. And at times today, we've actually seen this line get down to a pick 'em and even very, very slightly go to Celtics minus 1. But it's pretty much stayed Knicks minus 1.5, even though a majority of tickets are in their favor. Yet, it's shown liability juice-wise as well as betting system-wise or liability there, movement in favor of the Celtics. So this kind of just the recognition of this play, a short favorite that the public likes, but it stayed the same or dipped toward Boston, tells me you got an opportunity here to back the Celtics in this one. So I took that plus 1.5. Again, some books are, down to 1. You can get plus, and actually BetMGM is Celtics minus 1.5 right now. But you can get plus 1.5, minus 120 at both DraftKings and the Score. Remember, if you had ESPN Bet is now gone, and it's now under the umbrella of the Score. So you might have to, re-update your app. But slight majority Knicks, yet same or moved towards Celtics. You look at Circa, only half the tickets, 50%, but 99% of spread dollars in their favor. So a great split out in Vegas. There's a 15% sharp mush edge on the Celtics plus the points. And then 2 other angles for me. One is that the Knicks are very Jekyll and Hyde home road. Yeah, they're 13-6, great record. Did you know, though, the Knicks are 10-1 at home, but they're 3-5 on the road. They've been great at home at MSG. On the road, not so much. Also, you kind of have a little bit of a revenge angle as a Celtics fan. They lose to the Knicks in the playoffs. Now you have them at home. You lost 105-95 to the Knicks at Madison Square Garden about, a month ago or so. So maybe a revenge type game. The Celtics are getting back Keita, their big guy, and also you have the Knicks out with OG Anunoby not playing, and I think Landry Shamet is also out. But we have basically, again, public leaning Knicks. Line's dipping a bit, staying the same or dipping toward Boston. So I think it's kind of a sneaky spot to back the Celtics here, and the data backs that up. So I did take Celtics plus 1.5 at minus 120. Maybe you say, hey, just take a money line, get a better price. I respect that. But I'm going to take the 1.5 just in case they lose by 1, protect myself a little bit. But I got Celtics plus 1.5. Now, last bet of the night, a player prop. So for those of you, we always do the rhythm rundown every Thursday night, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. Last couple of weeks, we've been doing it on Wednesday because of the holidays and everything. But what I like to do is check out the smart signals. Now, Rhythm, if you haven't noticed, they revamped their homepage. It's fantastic. It's much clearer. But it gives you this calendar button where you just go to the games, and you can either click best props or you go to the calendar game by game. And I landed on one with a really good smart signal opportunity. So it is the Wizards and Philadelphia 76ers game. This is a 7 o'clock game tonight. That Celtics game is at 8 o'clock. But here's the thing. Recommended plays will have a green star, but the best of the best will be the smart signal recommended plays. So those are like, if you can think of, in order to be a recommended play, maybe you got to have a bronze or a silver medal. Well, this is the gold medal play with the smart signals. And what I like about smart signals is that it's not just that, there's a discrepancy between the market and what, Rhythm is predicting, but it really looks at kind of the conditions of the bet, the price, the situation, the ROI, the hit rate. It kind of puts it all together. So anyway, there's a long-winded way of me saying that I really respect the smart signals. And I've been telling myself I got to play a few more of these because I see him hit and I don't play him and I get annoyed. I should be on him. Anyway, I landed on the smart signal for this game, Marvin Bagley. Or Marvin Bagley, is it junior or the third? Anyway, Marvin Bagley, power forward, if you don't know, from the Wizards. Remember, he was really good at Duke. He was a top 2 pick and kind of flamed out, but he's been in the NBA. Anyway, I'm looking at his rebounds. Under 7.5 rebounds. Now, it's a smart signal. Rhythm is predicting 5.9 rebounds. So if they nail it and it's at 6, we cash the under 7.5. Even if you give him another one, he lands on 7, you cash the under 7.5. The smart signal detection is looking at stat breakdown, sample size of 74 bets in this situation. Record is 44-30, 7% ROI, 59% hit rate. Then what I like to do is just check out kind of how he's trended. In the last game, he had a great game. If you look at his stats, his last game against Milwaukee, he had 22 points and 8 rebounds. So he did go over the 7.5. But if you look at the little chart they give you, prior to him getting 8 rebounds, he had gone under that number. So 7 rebounds or less in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 straight games. If you look at on the road, he has gone under this number in 8 straight games. So he's pretty consistently gone under this number almost all year long. And again, now you are, if I look at it from a betting angle too, you're a 13.5 point dog on the road at Philly. What if you're down big? You pull the starters, you put the scrubs in, like maybe his minutes will get limited if they're down big. And again, this is a guy that's averaged in the month of December only 16 minutes per game, 15 minutes per game in October. And again, he only played one game in December. He had 29 minutes, so he did play more there. But I'm going to put some faith into this Green Star recommended play, smart signal play, Marvin Bagley under 7.5 rebounds. Now, lastly, you got to go find the book with the best price. So here's some transparency. Caesars under 7.5 minus 120. BetMGM under 7.5 minus 120. The Score / ESPN under 7.5 minus 115. Fanatics under 7.5 minus 115. DraftKings, listen to this, under 7.5 minus 128. So not a great number there, DraftKings. You're gouging us with that one. But FanDuel, under 7.5 minus 113. That was your best price. So I did play it at FanDuel. Bagley, smart signal recommended, under 7.5 rebounds, minus 113. And again, Rhythm is predicting 5.9. So let's go under 7.5 with Bagley. So that about does it for episode 406 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up. And I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding in the arena every single day with me through the ups and the downs, trying to make sharp data-driven plays, trying to cash some tickets. If you do enjoy this pod and you want to just, hey, let me know that you enjoy the insights, I would love for you to give this podcast a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes. Click the follow button, recommend the pod to a friend. That would all be very much appreciated. Next, if you enjoy this style of betting breakdown, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on line movement, bet splits, system matches, picking up the context clues of the betting market, making bets with our head and not our heart based on data, not bias and gut instinct, because usually that's wrong. Well, if that style of betting has appealed to you, you want to learn more about data-driven betting, or you are looking to give someone in your life a stocking stuffer, a gift that won't break the bank, you should go to Amazon.com, type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook or the Everything Guide to Sports Betting, my 2 books that I've written that I'm very proud of, and buy it for that person in your life who needs a Christmas gift and you have no freaking clue what to get them, because it's got everything I've learned in the industry, how to approach betting from a data-driven perspective. So you want to pick one up or both, you'd make me happy, and I think it'd be a pretty good gift to gift somebody. So bring them to the book. I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer or a ginger ale. We'll sweat some of these hoops games tonight. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? Rhythm, for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. Use promo code START25 if you want 25% off. And then Juice Reel, where you can support the ASG pod by signing up to get the ASG pod official best bet picks for $4.99 a week. You also get the Robo Jackson plays, sharp mush indicators, arbitrage opportunities, all available when you download Juice Reel. So download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, do you have a live odds page? If you don't have one, you need one, because you got to be able to track the market. Even if your approach to betting is a little different than mine, that's okay, but you still got to know what the line opened at, where it's now. We got to look at, hey, what's the best price? What's the book offering me the best number? I want the Celtics. Who's got the 1.5? Who's down to 1? Again, Odds Logic is the best live odds page around. If you want to give it a shot, go to this link, oddslogic.com/Josh123. That'll give you a 7-day free trial, 50% off your first month. And then, of course, Novig. Novig is a betting exchange, not a sports book. As a result, you're going to get way better juice prices. So instead of laying -115, -120, you're going to get -108, -102, +105. Because, again, you don't have to pay the juice because you're betting against other bettors. You're not betting against the house. So if you'd like to download Novig, when you fund your account, just put in the promo code Josh123, and you will get a nice little 25 extra bucks to play with. So that about does it for episode 406. As always, guys, whether I see you at the Borgata in Jersey, whether I see you anywhere else, at the Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, the Nash in my neck of the woods in Nashville, New Hampshire, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweatin' Sharp Contrarian plays, jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. Unfortunately, you can't show me a G-Men ticket. You can. I'll buy you a beer. I'll take a shot with you. But, man, I guess the Patriots are too good. What are you going to do? But anyway, guys, coming off an 0-1 or a 1-0, a winning night, a losing night, a great night, a terrible night, a hot streak, a cold streak, or just grinding. We just got to stick with it, think long-term, bankroll management, discipline with our plays, betting to risk, not betting to win, 1 unit per play, and then grinding the model long-term. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. We're going to have days and weeks where we're hot, days and weeks while we're cold, days and weeks while we are grinding, up a unit, down a unit, but we're always striving to make sharp bets long-term. So if we can find games that fit our model against the house, with the pros, with the public, against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays, and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors long term. So have a great Tuesday, everybody. I got to go shovel some more snow. Winter is officially here. We'll be right back at it tomorrow for episode 407 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great Tuesday night.